Askreddit thread. Pizza guys slash girls. Does your shop have a no delivery list? And what houses are on it and why? My friend, who's a pizza guy, told he asked his manager to ban a house because they always want him to wait until they eat first slice, and then complain pizza's not well made and ask for some discounts or coupon and ends up not paying tip, acting angry. Similar story. I had a house who took the pizza, went inside. I'm assuming shook it violently and then ran me down before I drove off, demanding it for free because it was all fucked. I said there's no way that's happened, but I would be happy to take the pizza back and get another one. He demanded he keep that one and get him another. I said no way. I ended up taking the pizza back and got chewed out because they thought I dropped it. Then a few weeks later, they pulled the same shit on my boss. People are scummy. Did your boss apologize to you? I assume not, but I can hope. He actually did. He praised me on being able to maintain my calmness. But if I wouldn't have, I would have been fired probably. Huh. Fun stuff being a pizza guy, I bet. Let's go to the next one already. A long time ago for me, but we had a huge delivery area and several entire apartment complexes blacklisted because they were hideously unsafe for anyone thought to be carrying money. There were also a couple where we would deliver to the front gate only, not go into the complex itself. Greenpoint area, north side of Houston in early 90s for those aware of the area. Deliver pizza to Greenpoint. It pretty much a death wish job description in general. That's a fucking war zone. Greenpoint. Worked at a Papa John's. The only place on the no delivery list were bounce checks. We had one driver get his knee bashed sideways with a baseball bat and money stolen. Ooh. I delivered to the same place the next night. They didn't care about getting robbed because the driver is only supposed to have $20 max on him at all times. So everything other than $25 the driver had to pay for it. The driver, I think, had to pay around $125 after being assaulted. What the fuck? Did they not press charges? Yeah, the police came out, but they never found the guy. We gave him crap for faking before we were reminded of the money policy until we saw his knee. I don't think he had surgery, but he was in a brace for a few months. Huh. Had to pay $125 after being assaulted. That would be illegal for Papa. Do make him pay. I was delivering for Godfathers in Memphis in '88. We had a no delivery houses as well as areas. We had one area smack dab at the middle of our normal delivery zone that was blocked out. It was a low-income apartment complex. We got a new manager. He was eager to up his numbers, so quickly changed that area to being a legit delivery area. The first time he handed me an order for that complex, I explained that it was a really shitty complex and we didn't go there for a reason. He accused me of being racist because I didn't want to deliver to the complex. Complex was all black. I was white. Manager was black. And said to just deliver it and quit complaining. Okay, man. So I drive it out there, walk upstairs to the apartment door. I knock. No answer. I look a bit closer and it's obviously a vacant apartment. So I head back to my car and I'm sorting my money bag. And the next thing I know, I glance at my rearview mirror. I see 3 bad dudes looking across the parking lot, heading right for my car. I notice one of them was carrying a rifle. Holy shit. I crank out my shitty VW Rabbit, threw it in reverse, and hauled ass out of there. I get back to the shop, and the manager accused me of making it all up, and he said I didn't think I even attempted to deliver it. He says to go back out there. I say, no fucking way, dude. He insists. So I insist he comes with me. He agrees. We drive back out there. He carries the pizza up the stairs, realizes it's a vacant apartment, quickly gets back in the car. Sorry, dude, you were right. I was set up. We got back to the shop, and he marked the whole area off limits again. Wow, good for you for standing up for yourself. Probably saved a lot of drivers some serious hassle down the line. It's perplexing that people are willing to kill / rob pizza men for a pizza and a few bucks. People are willing to do that to anyone for a few bucks. All the rewards of mugging without the hard work of searching for victims and reduced risk of them being armed. Plus, free pizza. We had a few blacklisted numbers / area. Mostly for people who wrote bad checks or would constantly complain / return orders / make threats. One address that was on the absolute edge of our delivery area, a business all by itself on the edge town, got blackballed because people from outside delivery area would give that address and meet us there. A couple of bad neighborhoods, including one that was literally 6 dilapidated trailers in the middle of a field with a 2-track going back to it. Nothing but crackheads with pit bulls and rotties with no leashes were blacklisted too. So what if someone from the business actually wanted a pizza? Then their business name would come up on our caller ID, and it would be during their business hours. I delivered to the dorms when I was in college, back before credit cards could be used to pay for pizza. In the largest men's dorms, we had a war with some of the residents after they got pissed when we wouldn't accept an expired coupon for a 14 pizza order. So they kept calling us with ghost orders and making life hell for us over the course of a few weeks, so we stopped delivering to anyone in that dorm. As we were the cheapest pizza in town, that did not go over well with them. The RAs got every student in the dorm together and told them to knock it the fuck off or get kicked out. So we tried to deliver again, the same shit happened, so we banned that dorm forever. It was cool by me because those idiots would place 5 to 20 pizza orders and tip $2. It was the mid-80s, there was no caller ID, most of the students used the wall payphones we had in the lobby. But some rooms had their own phone. Regardless, there was no way of knowing who was calling. What a bunch of idiots. No one deserves to be deprived of pizza except those guys, such assholes. But if they're calling up and making ghost orders, wouldn't blaming the dorm itself do nothing to stop the ghost orders? Or are they dumb enough just to get false orders delivered to other rooms in the same dorm? Depending how old the story is, it's possible it was pre-cell phone days and they just blocked orders from that caller ID's number. A lady in our delivery route was always just getting out of the shower when we arrived and kept accidentally dropping her towel. There wasn't a single driver in our shop who hadn't seen every disgusting fold and lump on the front of the 300 lub acne-covered body. The manager finally warned her that if she did it again, she would be banned. She, of course, did it again, and I like to think the resultant loss of home delivery pizza translated into a net benefit for her physical health, just as it had done for our mental health. That's gross. Oh, so she was a real-life porn movie? That might be annoying or offensive to some drivers, but many managers would have a hard time. Yeah, except the fact that she was 300 pounds. I deliver pizza in New Jersey. I think NJ is New Jersey. I went onto the porch to see a snarling Rottweiler behind the door. Not a big deal, happens a lot. I'm a stranger, the dog is just being a dog. The lady pushes him back. We do the pizza transaction and I'm turning to go. The lady says, "Oh God, he's out." The back door was open and the dog was charging around the house to come on the porch. I quickly open the door and run inside, but the lady's screaming, "No, that's a really bad one inside." The really bad one is inside. And I see a bigger Rottie just inside the hall, so I stick myself between the screen door and the real door, and I'm trapped with an angry dog sandwich. The outside dog bites my calf because I can only close the screen door so much. Not so much damage, but I'm bleeding. The manager goes to talk to the lady. It's like 1/8 of the mile from the store, or that lazy bastard wouldn't have bothered. And the Rotties are penned up out back. As soon as the lady starts talking to him, another small mutt dog zips out the door and bites him on the hand. He made the call. No more pizza for them. That's funny. The dog. Why don't you just run to your car? Well, he's probably never had to deal with stray dogs before. Plus, I don't think I've ever had to deal with a Rottweiler now that I think about it. I take my dogs on walks every day. I alternate between the two of them. And there have been stray dogs who just run up and start barking. Or just straight up run up and start attacking my dogs. So, in order to get them away, all you do is just make loud noises, stomp on the ground. They don't like that and they run away. And if they don't, kick them a few times and they'll run away. But I don't think he could probably kick the ladies and Rottweiler. That'd probably get her. But he wouldn't have been bitten, so. But then again, people, probably. I didn't know how to deal with dogs until I started taking my dogs for walks and had to run into stray dogs all the time. So yeah, if you have a stray dog run up to you, just make really loud noises, scream at it, just stomp on the pavement and they'll run away. And if they don't, just kick at them and then they'll run away. You rarely ever actually have to fight one. And if you do, because I've had to kick one a few times because it was actually attacking one of my dogs, they will run away. Because dogs don't like pain. What the fuck? Those people should just lose their dogs. I don't like excessive litigation, but some people need to learn a lesson. In my area, all 3 dogs would have been confiscated by the police by force if necessary and put down. 99% of animal problems are horrible owner problems, just like kids. Control your family, people. Our greedy ass owner refused to develop such a list. Even after 2 of our drivers were mugged at the same house, they wouldn't let us avoid neighborhoods no matter how unsafe, no matter what time of day. Neither snow nor rain nor heat nor robberies. I don't want to read that. When I worked at a pizza place, we just had one person that we wouldn't deliver to because he would always refuse to pay and hassle the delivery guy, saying the pizza was cold, took too long, wasn't the right order, whatever. He probably got a couple free pizzas at least before we stopped bothering sending him anymore. I was working for a big chain. Big chains rarely ban houses because greed. Maybe afraid of bad will. Maybe they are afraid of being accused of racism. 3 days in a row, drivers came from a house with tales of creepy behavior from 3 black teens dressed like gangbangers. Kids wanted pizza delivered to the back, hassled drivers, demanded free stuff, arranged themselves to surround drivers. Drivers refused to go to the back, retreated to the car, etc. 3 days in a row, the kids ended up paying $30 for the delivery. Drivers begged manager to ban the house, but he wouldn't do it because perception of racism. 4th day, boys are not waiting in front yard like before. Driver goes to the door, gun stuck in face. He hands over wallet and pizza and car keys. He walks away. Boys joyride and eat stolen pizza. Boys call the police. They live at that very house. Mom, a well-paid state worker, had been away at a convention that week. House then banned. Boys, although they lived in a decent neighborhood, went to a crappy high school where they wanted to get street cred as hooligans. At that school, it would make them more fearsome and popular. The money was not an issue to them. It was driver number 3 in the story. Heard about details of the home from neighbors, but I did other deliveries. This was 1994-ish. Some local kids did that to a guy in my area. He tracked them down and broke their legs. The kids' parents then started canvassing the neighborhood for information. I think after getting to the 20th door slammed in their faces or being told their shitty kids deserve it, they stopped pressing the matter. Some local kids did that to a guy. He tracked them down and broke their legs. That's funny. Kind of seems like a dumb thing to do when you put it that way. It could just as easily have been a Molotov cocktail thrown through the bedroom window at night. I mean, you're fucking with someone who knows where you live and you absolutely nothing about them. Only super reputable people deliver pizzas. It's okay. Fuck with them all you want. Also, openly insult your Waffle House cook while they're making your food. Trust me, none of them are convicted felons. At our shop, we banned an older man who tried to molest one of our larger male employees. Another guy just happened to be masturbating facing the window so the drivers could see him. This happened a couple times, so the cops were called. Turned out he had a record of doing this, but also did it in front of school buses. My house got put on the deliver first sort of list because we ordered so much and so often. Eventually, they would know people's phone numbers and knew the address automatically and sometimes give us a discount. It's not official, but there's a house in my area that times you for your tip, which we would be pretty pissed about normally, but he's a good sport about it, and on average run over there will get you about $7. We always book it over there first if we're taking more than one at a time. This is why I love Reddit, learning so much about pizza delivery in just an hour. I got this with one of my local takeaways. They recognized my voice when I called, and my orders would always be stupidly quick, and they always threw in a few extra things like chicken strips, bites, and chips. That sounds nice. In the late 90s, I was still living in Detroit, and in between desk jobs, so I delivered pizza as a part-time gig. Detroit's neighborhoods have been rough for a few decades now, but the 90s seemed like they were on their own level. I won't say the specific neighborhood, but there were some really rough ones. This one house, though, this house was just in awful shape. I kind of figured this would be bad even if I was driving down the street to get there. Every other house literally was either burned out or very obviously abandoned. This one was just shitty looking, but I tried to be optimistic. I walked up to the door, awning kind of drooping over my head, and knocked. Almost instantly, the door cracked open and all I saw was a dark hand with what looked like a Gluck. Leave the pizza and walk away. I complied, obviously, and told my manager that I wouldn't be delivering to that neighborhood anymore. Still stuck around with a job for another 6 months or so. That was probably the only thing that level I've seen. Did you call the cops? Haha, no. The things are slightly better in Detroit these days, but calling the cops was totally pointless in the 90s. I live on the West Coast now, and everyone wants to know what Detroit is really like. I tell them it's slowly getting better. They always seem a little disappointed until I tell them about how it was in the 90s, and that seems to cover the horror stories they wanted to hear. I worked at Jimmy John's, which have really small delivery areas. We had a place that was way outside delivery area that we were always getting orders from. It turned out the guy was the manager and half the staff's dealer, and they made an arrangement. When the new manager came in, he had to put an end to that. Wait, it turned out that guy was the manager and half the staff's dealer, and they made an arrangement. I don't get it. Knackman, Randy Savage. Good Jimmy John's. I love their slim sandwiches, but hate their policy of small delivery areas. There's one in my town, and I'm outside the 5-minute delivery area by like 4 blocks. I even wrote a letter complaining to corporate, and I usually never complain about anything. Why complain about that? They have to pay the driver, and the driver has to drive longer, which is less money for them too. Pizza guy here. We don't have such a list, but we do remember which houses are regular assholes and which ones try to scam free pizza by complaining. Usually we just send another pizza, but we make the regular baseless complainers send the first one back. We've never had anything truly bad happen to make us stop sending people altogether, but we have sent different drivers to some places. Like if a coworker is being hit on and it makes them uncomfortable, we will send someone else to that place. I'm sure if something bad enough happened, we would cease delivering to that address though. And it also, I never understood being an addicted pizza guy. Like, you're not supposed to mess with people who make your food, so why would you mess with people who make your food and know where you live? Because people are just dicks for no reason. Oh, we did temporary blacklists over half our area because idiots kept calling in, no, I can't pick it up while my neighborhood's flooded and I need it to be delivered. In St. Louis during the flood because idiots kept calling in, no, I can't pick it up, my whole neighborhood's flooded and I need it to be delivered. Yeah, we had a few no delivery places, mostly places where we got robbed and other where someone, not one of us, got murdered. So we stopped going to those places. Oh, that sucks. Not a pizza guy, but I think you might like Tales from the Pizza Guy. I'm just going to end it here. I'm towards the bottom anyway. But all the stories are basically the same. Rude customers or being robbed. That's where you don't deliver pizzas to.